in here. And on the front page, we have Daily Guide. Afoko Japan must go, says MPP MPs. Blows over cement import. 10 cops in visa fraud. Fresh charges for the National Service scheme boss. And those are the stories we have.
Let me do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the paper. Boafo Okujeto wade into NPP crisis. Bird flu scare hits Accra. That full story on page 16. We brought you a lot more details in our news. 35 National Service Secretariat officials charged. There's a picture of Al-Hassan Muhammad Imoro, who is on trial with some 34 others. Yesterday, they dropped all the old charges and slapped him with some new charges. Story says that 35 people, including the top hierarchy of the National Service Scheme, who were implicated in a massive fraud at the secretariats, have been charged with conniving to deprive the state of more than 107 million Ghana cedis. They are alleged to have, between September 2013 and August 2014, acted together to loot the state through the payment of allowances to 31,516 non-existent national service personnel. There's a lot more detail in the paper, but back page, Adasi project to be completed in October. A quick one says contractors of the Adasi defense project have started, or they've stated that the second phase of the project would be completed in October this year. We'll keep an eye on that for you, but that's the headlines, front and back page in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Roland?
Front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have 32 NSS officials on bail, 2 police officers clash in court, ADB workers apparently have declared a sit-on strike, and the Swiss police, they swooped on FIFA officials, and I hear the hotel was just at the bank of a very beautiful river. And they
were chilling, relaxing.
Top of the class, you know, they're executives of FIFA. I wish I worked in the organization for the last 15 years. It wouldn't have been trouble at all. But there's one thing though, they wish they hadn't been arrested, because now the hotel staff apparently in one of the incidents had to use a tablecloth to cover one of the officials, but too big a man. He rode in Rolls Royce, etc. But he was picked up in an Opel car, small car like that. That's how it goes. You know, sometimes
with all his money. Sometimes
we really about jealous husband cut off wife's hand, and look at his face there. Kwabena and fufu. And back page we have food bridges can't be used. And it says years after the Medina Adenta Highway was open for vehicular movement, pedestrians and traders along these areas and beyond cannot access the 6 footbridges constructed along the road. Why? The problem is all the footbridges along the road have only their middle beams solidly erected without the supporting left and right structure that connect them to the main bridge for easy access by pedestrians. Doesn't make sense at all, does it? Phase 1 of Adasi defense project completed, and we say kudos for this very defense project that has been completed at Adan, because always had been a worry for officials of the districts or the municipal, as well as even the residents there. So it's a good thing after all.
All right, let me do the new Crusading Guide newspaper. Front page, Afoko Ejapong under pressure as minority backs step aside move and speak out. NPP top shots tells Kufuor, that's Sam Okujeto. They are asking the former president John Ajekun Kufuor to speak and calm or help calm matters. Abese installs Adonting Hene, that's another headline here. And Kaswa NPP smoke peace pipe for big victory 2016. That's it for the front page headlines as I see it in the new Crusading Guide newspaper. Roland?
Front page of the Dispatch. Wrong document submitted to the Electoral Commission. MPP's June 13 elections in danger. MPP beware how the UP tradition broke up in 1979. The history is all there. And those are the stories we have on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. Front page of the Insights. Coup in MPP. New dimension in Adams murder. And we also have on the front page of the Enquirer, Kenny Japon's tears were crocodile tears over MPP regional chair's death. It was all because of money. Hawkers flee from Boko van der Poel, and Vice President laments over Africa's poverty. The last paper we're looking at, I am looking at Business Finder, IMF to evaluate program. And you have a picture there of the IMF Managing Director, Christine Lagarde. And you have Obuasi Mine to resume production, we're told. But you have all the market figures there, the macroeconomic targets, the consumer inflation rates, the interest rates as well, the Ghana Stock Exchange values as the trading is, and the current currencies, how the cedi is performing against the major currencies, the US dollar, the euro, the pound, as well as the South African rand.
Okay, so let me do one of the papers I like to review very much, the Chronicle newspaper. Front page headlines: Police grab more asset suspects and sack Education Minister, teachers tell Mahama. Also, cervical cancer kills 7.6 million. This is according to a certain foundation. But a little of the details for you on the police grabbing more asset suspects. Paper says that information available to the Chronicle indicates that police have arrested more suspects in connection with the murder of the Upper East Regional Chairman of the NPP, Mr. Adams Mahama Akabela. Frantic efforts are being made to arrest the prime suspect, Asabike Alangdi, who is currently on the run. So you can continue to read a lot more to see who exactly has been arrested. Sack Education Minister. The Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana has called on President Mahama to terminate the appointment of Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Minister of Education, saying she is the reason for all the misfortunes and setbacks in the education sector. There's also another one here that says the minority leader in Parliament, Che Mensah-Bonsu, has declared that there are too many local champions in the NPP who hop from one radio station to the other, passing all kinds of comments on the recent happening in the party. They need some order there in the NPP, don't they? But I'm wrapping it up with a story on myjoyonline.com. This is our own legend who is being buried, or there's a state burial for her. Let me share it with you. Theodosia Oko. There's a state burial to see of Ghana's illustrious daughter today, and the state burial would be held today to bid farewell to the design of Ghana's national flag, Theodosia Oko, at the forecourt of the State House here in Accra. She will later be laid to rest at the Osu Cemetery. The state funeral will be attended by government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, the clergy, members of parliament, and high-ranking politicians, all of whom will be expected to deliver tribute to the one of Ghana's illustrious women. We will be bringing you a lot more details on this one. She deserves you know, all the state things that we'll do for her today. She deserves that and a whole lot more, isn't she? One of our bests. So that's a wrap with the newspapers. You want to do something in the showbiz?
It's just the back page has George Williams. It says, I'm still young to act. And, you know, he was born to a St. Gentleman, Francis Awuno Williams, who was a famous lawyer back in the day, whose ancestors also came from Sierra Leone. And Awuno Williams we all know very well. That's the name. And George Williams, we used to like him back in the day. So
we still like him.
And he's 86.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, wow.
I think he doesn't take alcohol, no cigarettes, eats well, no junk.
Learn from him.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I started learning from him last week. It's not a bad thing at all.
All right, so Kwame Jumajima is standing by. I'm sure he has a lot more on FIFA. But let's also not forget that Roland Garros is underway. I got the opportunity to see a bit yesterday. Yes,
You're a tennis fan. I'm not a tennis fan, so I seem not to be following the issues.
All the big people are still in there.
When did it start? This week?
Was it over the weekend or on
Sunday?
On Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, Kwame Jumajima has got details on that as well.
I have to tell him he doesn't know a lot more about tennis, so I have to educate him on that. But we're taking a break. When we come back, I'm going to brief him on tennis. When he comes to do sports, he'll give you a little bit update as far as the Roland Garros is concerned.
So why don't you stay and do the sports then, since you have more info than he does?
No, I'll do the tennis segment. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.